Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I wanted to go over a few stories with you that kind of caught my eye. I was on the Shade Room, of course, and just enjoying this lazy Saturday. I hope your weekend is going great as well. Please hit the like button on this video. I know that you hear it all the time when you check out my content as well as other YouTube channels. Hitting the like button causes YouTube to recommend this video to more people. And of course, life is all about growth, right? So I would really appreciate it. And if you are here and you are not subscribed to Show, Style, and Spirit, I do humbly ask that you consider subscribing to my channel. I offer a variety of content, whether you love Love and Marriage Huntsville or you like celebrity interviews. I have done a few of those. And just different celebrity news. And I also talk about things related to wellness and self care and self love. If those videos got thousands of views, that would be amazing. But I do get it that people love to be entertained via reality TV stars. But I do a variety of content. So, anyway, let's jump right on in. As you can see, my first story is about Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya. She has been officially granted both a name and gender change. So, according to the Shade Room, according to documents obtained by TMZ, an LA County judge recently signed off on Zaya's new identity. Documents state that Zaya is to be issued a new birth certificate stating both her new name and new gender. Now, if you remember last summer, Zaya's petition for a name and gender change was filed last August and drew criticism from Zaya's mother, Siobhan Funches Wade. Siobhan contested the petition in November, claiming that Zaya was being pressured financially to make the decision. Now, one thing that I want to say is that I remember this discussion last fall, and lots of people thought that Zaya's petition was only to change her name. But when I read the content last year, I remember thinking, oh no, this sounds like she also wants to identify as a female, not just socially as she has been doing, but legally on documents. And there were people who disagreed with me. They said, oh no, Ebony, she just wants to change her name. So I always interpreted that petition as she wanted to do the gender change. And there were people who felt like she was just so young. And let's be honest, you go through so many changes from your childhood dream, and that causes you to major something specific in college. Then you may work in that field and realize that you don't really enjoy it. So then you switch careers. Some people, they may end up dating people from different races and cultures, different genders altogether. I mean, you go through so many changes throughout life. So I did feel like, Zaya had her entire life to decide if she wanted to change her identity in terms of gender. And I definitely support the LGBTQIA community. I just wanted the young lady to have some time to grow and really decide if that was what she wanted to do. But, she got her way. She wanted to make the change now legally to the point where she will get a new birth certificate stating that she is female. So let me know what you think about this. Now, people in the comments are saying, this is crazy that she can make such a major change just as a teenager who is still a minor when you cannot even drink alcohol until you're 21 and you cannot even rent a car until you are 25. So I do have to say that I share those sentiments, and I share those sentiments with peace, knowing that I do not hate or discriminate against anyone in the LGBTQIA community. I just want, a young person to be able to get to know themselves a little bit more before they make such a decision. All right, so I am going to stop sharing this screen, and then I want to go on to the next story that caught my eye. And I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, this is turning into like a LGBTQ edition for news. So let's just jump right on in. So now we have the state of Tennessee lawmakers, they have actually set a ban to some drag show performances and gender affirming healthcare for transgender minors. So let's go ahead and I'm going to click off of it, click back in, and then unmute the audio. Just one moment.
Bill is now passed the Tennessee House of Representatives. We've been following this for some time. The controversial bill looks to criminalize adult cabaret performances that take place in public or in venues where minors can attend. In the bill, male or female impersonators are defined as cabaret performers. Opponents of the bill say that it unfairly targets the LGBTQ community and popular drag performances. Commonly referred to as the drag show bill, is now passed the Tennessee House of Representatives. We've been following this for some time. The controversial bill looks to criminalize adult cabaret performances that take place in public or in venues where minors can attend. In the bill, male or female impersonators are defined as cabaret performers. Opponents of the bill say that it unfairly targets the LGBTQ community and popular drag performances. Commonly referred to as the drag show bill, is now passed the Tennessee House of Representatives. We've been following this for...
Okay, so I wanted to make sure that the report played in its entirety. So as you heard, Tennessee lawmakers, they actually passed a bill restricting drag performances that are in public or in front of children, particularly if the venue is within 1,000 feet of a school, a public park, or a place of worship. So basically, the drag show performances in Tennessee would have to happen in very much so adult clubs that are nowhere near schools, parks, or churches. So, I mean, I don't expect to see minors and, adult nightclubs anyway. And I mean, I would imagine I don't really see nightclubs near churches. And I'm just laughing because I'm just like, they're kind of creating this bill for a scenario that I just don't see really happening. And then there are so many other major issues that this country deals with between mass shootings, inflation, just to meet your basic needs between food, gas, and electricity. Everything has increased, but the wages that we earn have not increased significantly. Those are much bigger issues than if a drag show takes place near a school, park, or church. So it's so amazing what politicians have their focus on. I think that they want to look productive to their constituents, and yet they don't know how to handle the major issues of this country. So then they waste time passing bills about drag show performances. And I just kind of feel like, why don't you just come right out and say, we don't know how to handle the mass shootings in this country. We don't know how to handle, not only there's been mass shootings ever since Columbine, but now we have the white supremacists who have been inspired by, that guy, the Cheeto man, and now, they want to harm people just for being people of color. So now the violence in this country is really out of control, and we don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle inflation. We all lied to you and said that because some of you received stimulus checks, that we had to raise the price for everything. And we are giving all this money to other countries, and we just don't know what to do. I would rather politicians say that than to waste time passing bills that affect where drag show performances can be held. They make themselves look unintelligent, really. So let me know about what you think of this story as well. So then I am going to stop sharing and then get into this last story. It will definitely make you laugh because it is just like beyond unintelligent. But let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and then I will go on mute and then we will play the story. It is about an inmate's unborn baby. So the inmate is pregnant, is being illegally detained in a Florida jail. Yes, so we're going to click on that story. I'm going to mute myself for a few seconds, okay?
Obviously, I have concern for the health and well-being of my baby.
Michael O'Brien says he's like any other expecting father, concerned about his baby on the way.
I don't want the baby to be born prematurely or low birth weight.
His fears stemming from the fact that the mother of his child, Natalia Harold, is in jail, charged with second-degree murder. The 24-year-old is accused of shooting and killing Gladys Borcella during an argument in an Uber in July. She pleaded not guilty. The father.
Obviously, I have concern for the health and well-being of my baby.
Michael O'Brien says he's like any other expecting father, concerned about his baby on the way.
I don't want the baby to be born prematurely or low birth weight.
His fears stemming from the fact that the mother of his child, Natalia Harold, is in jail, charged with second-degree murder. The 24-year-old is accused of shooting and killing Gladys Borcella during an argument in an Uber in July. She pleaded not guilty. The father.
Obviously, I have concern for.
The father argues his unborn child shouldn't be punished.
This person is unlawfully incarcerated.
O'Brien hired attorney William Norris on behalf of the unborn child. Norris filed this petition, which states the unborn child seeks immediate release from custody to receive necessary immediate medical care and to be free from unlawful and illegal detention.
An unborn child is a person. The person has constitutional rights, and one of them is the right not to be deprived of liberty without due process of law.
The father argues his unborn child shouldn't be punished.
This person is unlawfully incarcerated.
Okay, y'all. So y'all saw that story. And this screenshot says, "You don't want me to go in my purse." And then a woman allegedly shot and killed her friend in an Uber after partying with men in Miami. So 24-year-old Natalia is accused of fatally unaliving, I shouldn't have said the words that I've said just now, a 28-year-old Gladys Borcella during an argument inside an Uber last summer. Now, during the unalivement, the suspect was 6 weeks pregnant. In my opinion, that is key. Because for her to be 8 months pregnant now and suddenly she cares about the health and conditions that her unborn child is living in, what was she thinking when she was 6 weeks pregnant? Perhaps she could argue and say that she did not know that she was pregnant. I would imagine by that time you would know if like you missed your cycle or anything of that nature. But I called cap on this. I think this is ridiculous. I don't know what type of pride or personal ethics that attorneys should have. I know that I would be embarrassed to even file such motions because we all can clearly see that she's using the unborn child as an excuse to actually get out of jail. And she has actually taken someone's life. She should be considered armed and dangerous and a threat to society. I get that the unborn child did not do anything. However, unfortunately, the unborn child does have to remain in her body that is locked up and belongs to the state. But let me know what you think. This is definitely, you know how some people say there's such foolishness that goes on in Florida. This pretty much backs that claim up. I feel like she should stay locked up. I mean, I don't go around breaking the law. I try not to harm people. I try to do what's right. So when I am feeling like someone needs to pay the piper, I'm okay at saying that because I know I try my best to treat others how I want to be treated in return. But let me know what you think. And y'all, I also want to let you know that I am reading a song for you by Robin Crawford. Robin Crawford is, a very close friend and former lover of Whitney Houston. So I am reading her book. It's really good, very descriptive, vivid. She takes you all the way back to the 80s before Whitney Houston got her record deal. I am just at, Whitney Houston recording You Give Good Love and How Will I Know? How Will I Know was actually a song that was originally offered to Janet Jackson for her Control album, and Janet did not want the song, so it went to Whitney Houston. Isn't that amazing? That's so interesting. I can't even imagine now. You know that it was meant to be for Janet to say no, because it was meant to be for Whitney to record it. So when I finish this book, I do want to reach out to Miss Robin Crawford for an interview. I think that would be amazing. I don't always get the interviews here on this channel. You can see I've interviewed, of course, Miss Van from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Last year, I interviewed Winter from Love and Marriage DC. And I also interviewed Simone. She is the mother of one of Nene Leak's grandchildren. So I have gotten a few interviews, and then some I don't get. But I would love to interview Robin Crawford. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. Please hit the like button. It really helps me out. And Mr. and Mrs. YouTube, please don't get mad at me for actually reading the screenshot aloud, word for word, what the woman did. Okay, please don't hold that against me. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Shows, Style, and Spirit. Thanks again, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Bye-bye.